Picture this. It's a Tuesday morning. You're having your coffee, the mail comes, and there's a letter from the Social Security Administration. You open it, and the number inside stops you cold. The letter says you owe them money, thousands of dollars. It says you were overpaid. It says you have 30 days to respond. Your hands are shaking a little. You're thinking, how? I didn't do anything wrong. I followed the rules. I've been getting this check for years, and now they want it back? You set the letter down. You don't know who to call. You're not even sure what the letter means. And here's the part that really gets me, because I've seen this happen to real people. Most seniors who get this letter do nothing. Not because they don't care, but because no one ever told them what they're supposed to do next. That silence, that freeze, that is exactly what cost them their check. Hi, my name is Milena. I'm a senior policy analyst and retirement finance expert. I've spent years studying the rules around Social Security, pensions, and retirement benefits, the complicated fine print that most people never read until something goes wrong. And that letter I just described, it has a name. It's called an SSA Overpayment Notice. And right now, in 2025, millions of Americans are receiving them. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly what this letter means, what the government is legally allowed to do, and, this is the part I really want you to hear, the one official form that can permanently cancel this debt. Not reduce it, not pause it, cancel it completely. Stay with me until the end of this video, because there is one mistake I see seniors make again and again when they receive this letter. It's not complicated, but it is costly. And I'm going to make sure you don't make it. I want to tell you about Robert. Robert is 67. He retired from a manufacturing job in Ohio 3 years ago. He'd planned carefully. He had some savings, a small pension, and his Social Security retirement benefit. SPEES, about $1,750 a month. That was his income. That was how he paid his rent, his utilities, his Medicare premium. About a year into retirement, Robert decided to pick up some part-time work at a hardware store. Nothing major, maybe 12, 15 hours a week. He thought, it's a little extra money, it keeps me busy, it's fine. What Robert didn't know is that he was supposed to report that income to the SSA, not because he was doing anything wrong, but because the SSA calculates your benefit based on your earnings record. When your income changes, they need to know. That's the rule. Robert didn't know that, and honestly, the SSA's own rules are over 20,000 pages long. So why would he? 18 months went by. Robert kept getting his normal check. He kept working part-time. The system kept paying him. Then one morning, the letter arrived. The SSA had run a routine check. They compared Robert's Social Security record against IRS wage data. They found the part-time income he hadn't reported. And they calculated that over 18 months, he had been overpaid by $9,400. $9,400. The letter said he had 30 days to respond. It said that if he didn't, they would begin withholding 50% of his monthly Social Security check every single month until the debt was repaid. 50%. That's $875 less every month. Gone. Robert panicked. He called his son. His son said, "Dad, just pay it." Robert called the SSA phone line and waited on hold for 47 minutes. When someone finally picked up, they read him the same letter. They didn't tell him about his options. They said, "Sir, you owe the money." So Robert did what so many people do. He did nothing. He froze. He waited. 30 days passed. Then the withholding started. His $1,150 check became $875. His rent check bounced. His Medicare premium didn't get deducted properly. He had to ask his son for help with groceries. Here is the thing that breaks my heart about Robert's story. He didn't have to pay that money back. Not all of it. Maybe not any of it. There was a form he could have filed. A form that exists specifically for situations like his. A form that, if approved, would have permanently canceled that debt. He just didn't know it existed. I'm going to make sure you do. Let's talk about what's actually happening right now. Because this isn't just Robert's story. This is a national situation. What is an overpayment notice? The SSA defines an overpayment as receiving more money than you were legally entitled to. That sounds simple, but the causes are often not the beneficiary's fault at all. The SSA's own Inspector General reported that at the end of 2023, the agency had a backlog of 5.2 million pending actions, the highest ever recorded. That backlog caused over $1 billion in improper payments. Many were overpayments that built up over months and even years because the SSA's own staff didn't update records in time. In other words, the government made the mistake. and then sent you the bill. What the law actually says. Under Section 204 of the Social Security Act, the SSA is required by law to recover any overpayment, regardless of who caused it or how long ago it happened. That sounds brutal, and it can be, but that same law also gives you very specific rights and a specific form to exercise them. As of April 2025, here is what SSA policy says will happen if you receive a new overpayment notice and don't respond. The SSA will wait at least 30 days. Then they will automatically withhold 50% of your monthly Social Security benefit every month until the full debt is repaid. That's for Title II benefits, which covers retirement, disability, and survivor payments. If you receive Supplemental Security Income, SSI, the withholding cap stays at 10%. And if you no longer receive benefits at all, the law allows them to take your federal tax refund, garnish your wages, and if you pass away before the debt is repaid, they can seek repayment from anyone receiving benefits based on your record, including a surviving spouse. I'm telling you all of this not to frighten you. I'm telling you because every one of these consequences has a legal off-ramp, but you have to know about them to use them. The 3 deadlines that matter. There are 3 deadlines embedded in every overpayment notice. Most seniors never see them clearly stated, but they are there and they are critical. Deadline 1, 10 days. If you file an appeal within 10 days of receiving your notice, the SSA must continue paying your full benefit, unchanged, while your case is under review. This is a legal right. It is called aid paid pending. It means your check does not change $1 single while they investigate, but you have to act within 10 days. Deadline 2, 30 days. If you file any response, an appeal or a waiver request, within 30 days, the SSA must completely freeze all collection activity. No withholding starts until they make a decision. Miss this window, and the 50% withholding begins automatically. Deadline 3, 60 days. You have 60 days from the date you receive the notice to formally appeal the overpayment. If you believe you were not actually overpaid, or if the amount is wrong, the SSA assumes you received the letter 5 days after the date printed on it. So practically speaking, you have 65 days from the date on the letter. The 2 forms you need to know. There are 2 official SSA forms that protect you here. The first is Form SSA-632-BK. This is the appeal form. You use this if you believe you were not overpaid, or if you think the dollar amount is wrong. File this within 10 days to keep your full check flowing while the case is reviewed. You can file online at ssa.gov or call 1-800-772-2113. The second form, and this is the one I want you to really remember, is Form SSA-632-BK. This is called the Request for Waiver of Overpayment Recovery. A waiver is not an appeal. You're not saying the overpayment didn't happen. You're saying 2 things. First, that the overpayment was not your fault. And second, that paying it back would cause you financial hardship, or that it's simply unfair. If the SSA approves your waiver, the debt is permanently canceled, not paused, not reduced by half, gone. You owe nothing. Here is what makes this form so powerful and so underused. There is no time limit for filing it. None. You can file it tomorrow or 6 months from now. The SSA will still consider it. And the rules about fault have recently shifted in your favor. A 2024 policy change means the SSA now has documented presumptions that the beneficiary was not at fault in several situations, including if you reported your income change on time but the SSA kept paying you anyway, or if the SSA made a calculation error. The old standard made you prove you were blameless. The new standard starts from a more balanced position. To qualify for a waiver, you generally need to show 2 things. 1, the overpayment was not your fault. 2, repaying it would mean you can't afford housing, food, medicine, or other basic needs. You'll need to submit some documentation, your household income, your monthly expenses, bank statements. The SSA will use these to make their determination. For overpayments of $2,000 or less, you can sometimes request a waiver just by calling SSA directly. They may be able to process it over the phone. What if the waiver is denied? If your waiver is denied, you can appeal that decision too. And even if the appeal fails, you still have one more option. Form SSA-632-BK lets you request a reduced monthly repayment rate. SSA can set your repayment as low as $10 a month based on what you can actually afford. $10, not $500, not $800, $10. And if you are receiving SSI benefits, the withholding cap for SSI overpayment stays at 10% regardless, a maximum of $96.70 per month in 2025. The Medicare danger. Nobody mentions. I want to flag one more thing that almost nobody talks about. Most seniors pay their Medicare Part B premium through an automatic deduction from their Social Security check. When the SSA withholds 50% of your benefit, that automatic deduction system can break down. That means your Medicare coverage could lapse, not because you chose to cancel it, but because the payment mechanism got disrupted by the overpayment withholding. If you receive an overpayment notice, contact Medicare directly to verify your Part B premium status. Do not assume it is still running on autopilot. All right, let's make this simple and actionable. If you receive an overpayment notice, or if you know someone who has, here are the 3 steps to take right now. Step 1. Do not wait. File something within 30 days. The moment you open that letter, the clock is running. You have 30 days to file an appeal or a waiver request to freeze all collection activity. If you believe the amount is wrong or that you were not overpaid at all, file Form SSA-632-BK, the request for reconsideration. If you can file within 10 days, your full monthly check continues unchanged during a review. If you accept that you were overpaid but can't afford to pay it back, file Form SSA-632-BK, the waiver form. Not sure which one applies to you? Call SSA at 1-800-772-1213 and tell them you want to file a response to an overpayment notice. Ask them which form is right for your situation. They are legally required to help you complete it. Step 2. Request your SSA file before any hearing. You have the legal right to see the file the SSA used to calculate your overpayment. Request it. Read through it. Why does this matter? Because SSA errors are documented in that file, cases where SSA employees made a calculation mistake, failed to account for your pension, applied the wrong income figure, those errors can sometimes reduce or entirely eliminate the overpayment amount before you ever file a waiver. Also check this. If you reported a change, like starting part-time work, and SSA kept paying you anyway, that is documented as a presumption of not at fault under current policy. That is a direct path to a successful waiver. Step 3. Call Medicare separately to confirm your Part B premium. Do not assume your Medicare coverage is still running properly if your SSA benefit is being reduced. Call Medicare at 1-800-633-4227 and confirm that your Part B premium is being received and that your coverage is active. This is a 5-minute call. It could protect your health coverage. 3 steps. File your response within 30 days. Request your claims file. Confirm your Medicare. That's it. One more thing before I let you go. I know this is a lot of information, and I know that for a lot of you watching, this topic isn't abstract. You might have a letter sitting on your kitchen table right now, or you're worried that one is coming. Here is what I want you to hold on to. The government can send you a letter demanding thousands of dollars back, but that same government also created a legal process, Form SSA-632-BK, that says if this wasn't your fault, and if paying this back would hurt you, you don't have to. The people who lose their benefits are almost always the ones who didn't know that form existed. Now you do. Before I go, I need to say something about how you're getting this information. YouTube notifications are not reliable. The algorithm decides what you see. Important updates about Social Security rules, Medicare changes, pension regulations. They don't always reach you through a notification. Sometimes you find out months late. Sometimes you don't find out at all. That is why we created a dedicated space for this exact purpose. The link in the description below will take you to the Global Senior Alerts official WhatsApp channel. It's free. You don't have to create an account. You just subscribe and we send you verified, plain language alerts when the rules change. Social Security policy updates, Medicare news, IRS changes that affect retirees, banking rules, travel regulations for seniors. When SSA changed the overpayment withholding rate twice in 30 days this spring, our channel members knew within hours, not weeks later from a YouTube thumbnail. When you join, you also get immediate access to our Senior Benefits Protection Guide, a downloadable reference document that includes the exact form numbers we discussed today, the phone numbers you need, and step-by-step instructions for responding to an overpayment notice. Print it. Keep it with your important papers. Share it with your family. The link is right below this video. And if you found this video useful, please share it. Not for us. For the people in your life who might have that letter on their table right now and have no idea what to do. A phone call, a text, a share. It takes 30 seconds, and it might save someone's check. I'm Milena. I'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourself.